Oh, I wish I would be playing Expedition 33 again and re-experience it again for the first time. But, yeah, what is going on, lads? We're back with yet another Brave Souls video, and as you guys can see, Magic Society Giselle, Aizen, and Askin are going to be returning once more, just in time for Melee Soul Reaper, since we are about to wrap up this current GQ schedule and start with a brand new one starting next week. And next time we'll be seeing Melee Soul Reaper Guild Quest is going to be by the time we get to the end of year celebration, which I do want to talk about that more in depth as we go through the banner. So with that being said, this is going to be available starting tomorrow and will last up until the 24th. No pity, by the way, so if you were to go down to 25 steps, you're not even going to be able to get a pity ticket to guarantee one of them or even a duplicate, so be wary. I would not really try to go out of my way to summon on this banner, even though the fillers are a lot better compared to the previous rerun banners where we were just getting manga characters again. Well, the only manga unit this time around is Yama, and realistically speaking, there are only like 2 to 3 bad fillers in the banner, and some of them are still really good to get your hands on. Oetsu is great if you do not have the 1000-year blower Yoruichi. Now, he does struggle in the extra waves now. So, like, in the GQ phases in which you have 80 million HP, you need to have Macy. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the next time we get 100 million, 120... good luck with clearing with Oetsu. I'm not gonna lie, he is definitely cooked when you don't have the gauge active and you always need to fill it up. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Kensei's still perfectly fine for the likes of Melee Holo Guild Quest. Helps out Nemu a lot, and also Sun Sun. And then you have this Christmas Isani, which, funny enough, works fine in Limit Breaker Quest still, because I did use her in the slot where you need to run the new 1000-year blower Nemu, and she did quite well. Michiga's still a good unit for Guild Quest as a side. That being said, we are due for a brand new Melee Squad Zero killer for December mid-month, and that unit is more than likely going to be completely replacing Rukia, Mayuri, and this character right here, and we can potentially get a better character for that Guild Quest rotation, hopefully with an EX move this time around, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Ichibe, I mean, let's be honest, this guy's been washed for like a very long time. He's just a character for collection purposes now. And Yama, let's be honest, his place has been washed a very long time. Anyway, that being said, if I were to summon, I would only do the discounts and nothing more. But knowing the fact that Melee Soul Reaper is going to be back for the end of year celebration, normally that does indicate that we are going to be getting a new character for that. So, in other words, yes, Magic Society Giselle and 1000-year blower Basby are both going to get replaced for Melee Soul Reaper in favor of the brand new unit. It's definitely going to be SP based. So, with that being said, would I say it's worth summoning on this unit? Not anymore now. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Now, Giselle is still a very fun character to use, and does make good usage of the Dominate element, a bit better than the Tech Giselle this time around, since this character has Frenzy 2, Berserker 80, the same 100% damage to Dominate enemies, increased element chance against Soul Reapers, weaken defense, 80% SP boost, and awaken immunity 100%. Yeah, one thing to take away, of course, the next time Melee Soul Reaper does come around, and it's the special limited time guild quest, do expect Element Plus bottles, so Giselle can be a bit annoying to use when we do get the same Melee Soul Reaper Guild Quest rotation again. And secondly, as you guys can notice here, her DPS, his DPS, okay, I'm just gonna call Giselle Giselle. I'm not using pronouns for this character. You guys already know why. But as you guys can see, Giselle's DPS is a bit lower than a lot of the newer characters, since Giselle only has Frenzy 2, Berserker 80%, and you already have characters with Frenzy 3, high Berserker value, and maybe even 100% SP boost. So, like, unfortunately speaking, if you want to have a good time clearing this GQ rotation for Melee Soul Reaper, it's not just this character that you need to have your hands on, but you also need to have a Nat character. In this case, either 1000-year blower Ganju or the Christmas Gremmy works fine in Giselle's favor. And besides that, you also need to have a sub-DPS character like True Shikai, potentially even duped up since he does proc weaken and lacerate. Because well, like it or not, this character is going to have a pretty bad time trying to kill the guild quest rotation on her own. So yeah, and also the thing that kind of cucks the character too is the fact that this character picked up Quincy damage to ailment affected enemies of 30%. So like, in other words, it's kind of cucking Gremmy's value when it comes to using him, and you just want to use this character on Giselle's own, really. And also having mind attribute character strong attack damage of 20%, this is also kind of cucking the use of Mugetsu and Ganju because the character already has it. So yeah, that's kind of the unfortunate thing. If you're bringing Grammy, it's just for the strong attack damage increase, and it's the only one that can stack, and yeah, it's kind of a bit more limited compared to the Tech Giselle, where at least Tech Giselle was buffing tech damage to ailment affected enemies by 30%, and you could still get away with bringing Remy to support Giselle. This time around, support-wise, the character already has the support, when it could have been differently named skills to then stack on top of with Remy's support skills, so it's like, yeah, we're definitely going to get a replacement for this Magic Society Giselle. As not, now, let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. Aizen still destroys ranged captain, even with the bosses having 80 million HP first wave. But let's say we do go beyond that, like 100 million, 120 million, this guy's usage as a normal attacking character will still be great to have. Now, if we do have Element Plus puddles, you do need to get the attribute tree worked on, so that way you get the paralysis immunity up at 120%, and then you can just use a 5-star plus food item to get that patched out, and the character will then be 200% immune to paralysis. That being said, outside of his own GQ rotation, his main value was the fact that he can boost and debuff on his essays. He is still the only normal attacking character to do both simultaneously, making this character's value so damn high. But ever since we have gotten characters such as Swimsuit Misaki with the Rengiku link, now for the aura effect and giving damage to element affected enemies per Soul Reapers, this guy's value has definitely dropped to the point that he is now only good in ranged captain. I have not been using this character as much because we now have access to better buffers. So if you're trying to pull this character for value-wise, I don't really think it's worth it. But for ranged captain in the long run, I see this character aging quite fine, since normal attacking characters do tend to age a lot better than SP characters over time. And that's just actually true, really. Because at the end of the day, Flare 1, Flare 2, and Guild Quest, extra killer effect, extra range damage, damage to paralyzed enemies. Bruiser 80 does have paralysis plus, so yeah, you can stack it on alongside Aizen's dual ailments. And then Askin, sleeper unit of the banner, just a farmer, bad kit. Like, he is not that good. I'm gonna be honest, he is not that good. And then you do have the fillers, which I have already talked about. That being said, lads, I would still recommend skipping the banner. It is a better rerun banner, but if you're summoning just for Giselle at that point, chat, just wait for end of year. Save for end of year. We're definitely going to be getting a new melee Soul Reaper killer for that time. Like, I've made a whole video talking about the killers that we can expect for the new characters and the potential reruns that we can be expecting. And as you guys can see, on January 1st, Soul Reaper killer, strong attack damage ×2, range attack resistance. Meaning that, yes, a new melee Soul Reaper killer is going to be dropping on that date. So, yeah. And we're also more than likely going to be getting a replacement for Senjumaru too, right? Since this is melee captain. So, yeah, just say for the end of year, I would really recommend it. Even the upcoming end of month and mid-month banners, I would still recommend skipping, because I think 9th Anniversary Kenpachi should still demolish melee Espada. We'll need like a normal attacking character, but if you guys have Swimsuit Misaki, I think you guys are going to be fine. Melee Hollow, I mean, yeah. And yeah, end of month is going to be Melee Quincy. I think Full Bring Bankai Ichigo should still be fine for the Guild Quest rotation. Just be careful with how you spend your orbs, man. Because, like, we're close to end of year. We're really close. We're less than 2 months away. So keep up your orbs saving. And before we end the video, we do have Resurrections dropping tomorrow. I know people have done videos, it's just I wanted to wait until this was added in-game to talk about it, since Caleb did put out the stupid notice of them not wanting their games there in mind. Anyway, the Resurrections, I think that they're pretty solid, but I think that they kind of cucked Tsukishima a bit because of the simple matter of fact that, well, he's a Brave Battle character, but Brave Battle skill-wise, they just gave him prevent lastage survival and ignore Brave Battle invincibility. And that's just not enough. I think that he needed to pick up Persistence Breaker with Persistence, so that way he'd be a little bit more valuable, and it would be like a mini Chad to have. I mean, obviously, giving him Booster was kind of a waste, since Uryu already blocks boosts to begin with. But at the same time, it's like, if you're not going to go for the full treatment for Brave Battles, then just go for like a full PvE Resurrection. Like, instead of just going for this, just give him Booster and Guard Break, which he did not get. And he got Long Reach moved as one of the innate abilities. He already had that before. He picked up normal attack damage of 18% as the soul trait. That being said, not a crazy good soul trait to use because it's only damage reduction 16%. You want more damage reduction instead of normal attack for the Link as a whole. And then you have Weaken Immunity, Freeze Immunity. Yeah, you can use this character for Guild Quest. Just know that he doesn't have the booster value, so yeah. And Mask is just a better Nat character to use for the likes of Melee Stern or Guild Quest rotation. So, like, I think that this is the first cut to Resurrection that we have gotten in a long while, which is unfortunate. Thankfully, I cannot say the same for Ginjo and Mayuri, because they're both really good Resurrections. Ginjo especially. He picked up normal attack damage at full stam 20%, and he already had no, he didn't have Long Reach. Never mind. That is crazy. Also picked up Fire Immunity for the likes of Ranged or Rongar, so you can use him in Guild Quest if you want to. And his Flurry 1 got changed into Flurry 2. And his Bruiser got an increase. Now it's at 70%. He already had follow-up, but he did not have this. Team Party normal attack damage of 20%. That is insane. He already had Guard Break, so yeah. Ginjo's another really strong normal attacking character, which is pretty goddamn crazy. I love to see these Resurrections doing the characters justice, which is crazy. And it's also an amazing link too, right? Nanao can benefit so goddamn much from this, which I love. And then this Canfer or Mayuri. Now, let's be honest, you're still going to be better off running Segunda Tapa Ulquiorra as a ranged Espada killer. But his Resurrection is actually pretty solid. Because look at this. Frenzy 1 got changed into Frenzy 2. His Berserker got an increase by 20%, so it's not 40%. He picked up the 50% SP boost skill. He already had Guard Break. And also got increased element chance against Ronkars. What? Damage to weaken enemies of 24%. He already had Havoc, so yeah. Weaken immunity might be new. But, what a crazy Resurrection. It's better than, Kusaka's. That is crazy. Definitely amongst the best Resurrections that we have gotten for SP characters, so yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Resurrections in the comment section below, and let me know if you guys are gonna summon. I'm not gonna summon. I'm not summoning on anything until end of year. Just mid-month December, we'll have to wait and see about that, because Melee Squad 0, I might be cooked. I might be cooked, but thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? So take care, lads. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao. Excuse the stutters.